Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I just want to ask you one simple question. Do you have to be liked by everyone? This is a very important question to answer in your life because it will determine so much about the choices you make, the friends you choose, and whether or not you actually feel confident being different. So everybody wants to be an individual and wants to be seen and loved for who they are. However, we end up making these modifications, these subtle little shifts in our personality or our values or what we will or will not do based on kind of an obsession with wanting to be liked or wanting to be seen in a positive light. Now, of course, we want to be seen in a positive light. Nobody wants to be seen as a jerk or a loser or whatever. We don't desire for that to be the case, but I think there's a few filters that we want to put this through before we decide that we, are weird or have no worth or are just certifiably unlikable. So, a few things. One, ask yourself, did I actually do anything disrespectful or mean or otherwise to this person who's decided that they do not like me? If there's something, after you ask that question, if there's something that you feel like you need to legitimately own or apologize for or have somewhat of a conversation about, that's one thing. That is completely acceptable. Do that. If you ask that question and the answer is no, and you're like, I didn't do anything, they just don't like me. Okay, then I want you to sincerely ask yourself, am I okay with this person not liking me? Not because I did anything, but just because we don't jive for whatever reason. And that might be as simple as you just play different sports, you don't have a lot in common, or it could be you hold really strong, perspectives of faith and they don't like that. Or it could be you want to set certain boundaries in your life around like alcohol use and they don't like that. I don't know what it is for you, but here's the thing. If you decide that somebody's approval or adoration of you is of utmost importance, you're going to start making compromises in who you are and who you want to be in order to accommodate this person who might just not be your person. And that's okay. I think one of the lessons that I wish I would have known in life growing up is that you win some and you lose some. And just because you aren't like universally and globally loved and adored by all doesn't say much. It just simply says that we're kind of all different and some people click and connect better than others. So the other thing I would like to comment on is imagine this. If you have set out and made it your goal to be approved of and liked by everyone, then how many different masks and personalities do you have to wear in order to accommodate that? If you're with one group of people who has a certain standard or way of being, then you're going to modify to adapt to that person or that group. Then you leave that group and you go hang out with this person, and that person's a little bit different, so now you have to modify to them. And you leave them and then you go home and be with your family, and your family's totally different than both of those groups. Now you're somebody totally different over here. After you do that enough, you have completely lost sight of who you are and you're completely dissociated. You're living in all these different identities and there is no integrity in that. I know we don't think of that as like a dishonorable way to live, but I want you to think of this. Integrity is being the same and having the same sort of honesty, perspective, reliability, all of that in every circumstance. It's this rock that you can stand upon that says, this is who I am, and the people around me can rely on that. I can rely on that. So if we're shifting every which way, just depending on who we're with, now we don't have any integrity. And that costs you something. As a result of that, you just live in a place where you're not very happy and you have a lot of anxiety trying to keep up with who am I being today for the people that I'm around. And ultimately, you end up totally knowing in your core that the people who say that they care about you only care about that version of you. So at the end of the day, you're actually not being accepted for who you are. You're being accepted for some phantom ghost version of you. So just think about that and think about, what would it take for me to root myself in an identity that is an eternal identity. It is informed by who God says that I am, and I can confidently walk that path. And as I'm walking that path, I will interact with people respectfully and with honor and love and integrity. And if they choose not to do life with me, then that's okay, and I will love them regardless. But I can move on, and it doesn't have to say that I'm a terrible person. So think about that and ask yourself if that might be a better way to live. In the comments, I would love to hear some stories about times that you modified and wore those masks and how that actually worked out for you. So let us know. We'll talk to you soon.